Hey, let's do an adaptation experiment, okay? So, like we've learned about with different animals, some of them don't hibernate and some of them don't migrate. So they have to adapt to the colder weather. For instance, I'm outside and it's kind of chilly out here. It is, November after all. So I've adapted by putting on a heavy sweatshirt over a long sleeve shirt. So I think I need to adapt some more though. It's still kind of cold. But this is what we're going to do. Is an experiment about adaptation. And wouldn't you know, one of my neighbors decides to mow his lawn. Oh well, hopefully that won't be too loud in the background. So here's our question. Remember, all of our experiments start with the question. My first question is, why does the natural sunlight make me look so much older than if I'm inside? Okay, can't really experiment on that. Here's our real question. So, if we as humans had to adapt to the cold weather the way animals do, would it be better for us to have fur, burrow down in some leaves, or get more blubber? Let's not talk about how much blubber Mrs. Nichols has. Okay, so that's our question. If we were to adapt to the cold weather as animals do, what would help us the most? So we need to get our data sheet, right? Let's get our data sheet. Ta-da! So let's see here. The question is, which one is going to help us adapt the best? Is it going to be the fur, the leaves, or blubber? So we need to make our data sheet. As usual, we start with a one line across. Ta-da! And I think 4 lines down. No, actually, I think 3 will be good. 1, 2, 3. Man, this is hard to see. My marker's getting pretty bad. So again, we don't write anything here. I'm going to put an H here. Remember, that is going to be the place where we put our hypothesis. Oh, and you big kids, we can write it out, right? Oh my goodness, my marker's not working. All right, we're just doing an H for hypothesis. Wow. So the first thing we're testing is fur. So fur, if you are, wow. This thing really isn't working. The next one was leaves. 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 And then the last one is blubber. And you might be wondering, how am I going to test? Oh my goodness, my marker is not working. And here I am at home without another marker. Great. So fur, leaves, or blubber. And now you guys are going to make your hypothesis. Guess which one of these is going to keep us warmer. Okay, make your hypothesis. I've got mine in my head. And honestly, you guys, I haven't even tested this out, so I really don't know. And here is how we're going to do it. So if you want to try this at home, what I did is I took some baggies. I took some big gallon-sized baggies, and then inside I put the different things we're going to test out. So in this one, I have a piece of fur that my husband has had for many, many years. So it's just a piece of actual fur. In this baggie, I have a whole bunch of leaves. Boy, this is awkward, isn't it? Got a whole bunch of leaves in here. And in this one, I actually took some Crisco shortening. So that is lard, which is another word for blubber. So lard or fat. So I just took a whole bunch of that and put it at the bottom of the bag. So I've got our fat here, we have our leaves, and we have our fur. Now, all of this is sitting inside a container full of ice, right? Completely full of ice. because we want to test which one of these is going to keep us a little bit warmer. So we're going to be using our hands. And to get a good example of what we're testing, we need our control, right? So I have a bag here that's just a bag. So inside here, inside each bag, you guys, like in the middle of the fur is a smaller baggie. In the middle of the leaves is a smaller baggie, and inside the middle of the shortening, the lard, is a baggie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my hand in the control bag down in the ice, and that's cold. That is really cold. So to get a comparison, I'm going to keep one hand in the baggie that's just in ice. So that would be like if I were out in the cold and I had no way to adapt. So, ooh, this is cold. Now I'm going to stick my hand in the baggie that's here in the fur, and I'm going to get a feel if there's a difference. So I burrow my hand down in the ice, and I don't feel cold at all. Wow, this fur is really nice. This hand, oh man, is really cold. I don't feel cold in here at all. Nice. Okay, so fur worked. Fur kept me nice and cold, or nice and warm. Let's try burrowing in some leaves. I know lots of little animals will burrow down in the leaves. Okay, you know what? I can definitely feel cold. It's better than the control bag. It's definitely better, but I can feel cold. All right, so this one, leaves. All right, let's try this one. Oops, let me get my hand down in the baggie. And another main reason I put a baggie in here is because I did not want my hand to get all covered in shortening. You know what? I need to test the fur again to see if I can tell a difference. Well, you know what? It's the fur. The fur actually did a really good job of keeping my hand warmer. This wasn't too bad, that's why I needed to double check it. I wonder, well, this hand is still super, super cold. I was just wondering if I put, well, let's try it out. I'll put one in the fur and then one in here. Yeah, that fur is a little bit warmer. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell. Ooh, that's cold. So I stuck my hand back in the control one. Oh, now it's really hard to tell. I still think it's the fur. Yeah, the fur does feel a lot warmer. All right, so let me tell you what my hypothesis was. My hypothesis was actually the blubber. I really thought that the blubber was going to do it. But I should have known. I can't stand the cold. I still feel it. But our result, remember we have to fill out our data sheet. With a marker that would work would be nice. Our result was that it was actually the fur. Oh my goodness, you can't even see this. You know what I think's going on out here? It's starting to rain. Such a fabulous video. So we asked our question. If we had to adapt to the cold, what would keep us warmer? Fur, leaves, or blubber? I thought it was going to be blubber. It ended up being the fur. So my hypothesis was unsupported yet again, and that's totally okay. Look at how much I am learning every week. Every single week I have been learning something. That's awesome. So if you want to try it out, you guys, you could even try different materials. If you don't have a piece of fur, you can take like bits of yarn, cotton balls. Yeah, just come up with some different ideas of things that you want to test out. So I hope you like it, and I hope you try it. That would be kind of cool. Let me know what you find out.